Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are back with another episode of the Shottown Sports Podcast. This is not going to be our conventional, usual podcast. Today will be the first week. Ben and I will be predicting college football results, I guess. And yeah, Ben, welcome. Very excited for another season of college football.
Yeah,
We'll hopefully do this every single week. Tell you our picks. Maybe talk about the spreads here and there too. But yeah, getting that out of the way, like, subscribe, and let's get into it. So, first game of this slate is going to be Charlotte Appalachian State. They're not ranked, they're not Power Five, but I'm gonna take Appalachian State just because they beat Michigan.
Appalachian State last year, regardless of the fact they beat Michigan maybe 13 years ago, was great, and they've been really good the past 2 years. Their record over that span's been like 20-4. I have them easily winning this game,
They did lose their coach Satterfield to Louisville, though. I would
and
like
they
to point
also
that out.
lost Eli Drinkwitz, who was their next coach, to Missouri, I think. So both 2 years in a row.
Arkansas State, Kansas State. I was actually watching this game. Kansas State blocked the punt, and then Skylar Thompson, their quarterback, threw a dime to the top right corner of the end zone. I have Kansas State. You can see the scores right now. Yes, we're a little bit
It
late.
is somehow tied
I have
7-7.
Kansas State winning that, Ben.
Kansas State's definitely not a strong team this year, but Arkansas State's Sun Belt team, Kansas State should win that game.
Kansas State did beat Oklahoma last year. That was an interesting game to say the least. Next game, Syracuse, North Carolina, UNC by a million.
Yeah, I unfortunately had UNC not covering the spread in my picks. I underrated them a little bit, and they're probably going to win by more than 23.
West Virginia, Eastern Kentucky. I've never seen Eastern Kentucky ever play a football game. West Virginia by a good bit.
West Virginia's about to be up 14 after like 3 minutes.
Yeah.
So
West Virginia isn't all that talented either. Iowa State, ULM. ULM, I was watching game day. ULM's a solid team this year. Iowa State, though, I like them, even though they got blown out by Notre Dame in their bowl game. I'm still taking Iowa State.
Iowa State is ranked. Brock Purdy is still their quarterback. They still have Matt Campbell as their head coach. It's a good duo. They should win this game.
I think this will be a close one, though. I think this will be the closest, best game maybe of the day. Army, UL Monroe, not ULM. Difference. Taking Army. Army looked very solid in their Week 0 game. I actually like Army to blow them out here, and I like Army to go maybe 8-2, maybe 7-3 this year.
Army did look ridiculous in the first game of the season. And the spread's large, but I think Army's going to come close to covering it here.
All right. Notre Dame, Duke. Spread is only 22, I think. I would completely bet for Notre Dame. I also think Notre Dame will win this game. These are all Eastern time, by the way. Not sure if the game will happen. South Bend's supposed to get some bad weather from 2 to 9 Central Time, so that's 3 to 10 Eastern. This game might not happen, but we will see. I have Notre Dame winning.
I'm going to pull us. No, I'm kidding. I have Notre Dame probably winning just on the fact that Duke is not great. I don't love Notre Dame, but I do think they're a top 10 team.
All right, next game, Texas State, UT San Antonio. Travis Scott went to UT San Antonio, so heads up.
Okay.
I'm about to sneeze. I just sneezed. I muted myself so you didn't have to hear that. I have Texas State. I watched their game against SMU. They looked very solid, and they already have a week under their belt. They're hitting other guys. They're adjusted to that game day. I have Texas State winning by a good bit.
Yeah. UTSA is consistently one of the worst teams in the FBS. They just made the jump a few years ago to the FBS, so they're still adjusting. And Texas State's, I wouldn't call them a great team. I wouldn't even call them that good a team. But they're going against a weaker team. They're going to win.
I agree. Let's move on down a little bit. Florida State, Georgia Tech. I've seen a decent bit of people saying Georgia Tech were going to win this game. I'm not one of those people. I think Florida State's winning, kind of on the fact that Marvin Wilson, their D lineman, is a complete stud. I think he's going to have a big year this year. Florida State.
We'll see how Florida State's quarterback situation, which has been super shaky since really Jameis left, and it hasn't been great since Jameis left. Let's see if they can bounce back this year. I have them winning this game. Is it Blackman? Is their quarterback Blackman?
I believe so. Yes, I just looked it up. That's Blackman.
Okay.
All right. Next game, Georgia Southern Campbell. Not really sure, but I'm gonna go with Georgia Southern. Yeah, Georgia Southern.
I mean, Campbell plays in the FCS, and I don't think they're all that great in the FCS. So if they won, that would be a pretty major upset. I think Georgia Southern, either Georgia State or Georgia Southern, upset Tennessee last year in the opening game. Maybe Georgia State,
Georgia State. That's Georgia State.
yeah. But Georgia Southern's a rival of Georgia State. I have them winning because they're an FBS team.
All right, Pittsburgh, Austin Peay. I have Pittsburgh. I saw Austin Peay versus Central Arkansas in the first game of this college football season.
And they lost.
They lost. This game is in Heinz Field, which is going to be cool. Pittsburgh plays there. So yeah, Pittsburgh.
Yeah. If Pittsburgh loses this game, they're an ACC team. Not the strongest ACC team, but Austin Peay is once again a weaker FCS team. I don't see them beating Pittsburgh.
All right, Oklahoma, Missouri State. I have Oklahoma by 1 million, but I want to point something out. Not sure if this is really true because it said Notre Dame had tickets. Notre Dame does not have tickets. But Oklahoma, you can buy. The only way to watch this game is to pay $60, I'm pretty sure. It's $50 or $60 online. You can go to this game for cheaper than you can watch it on TV.
That's too much.
That's nuts. $60 to watch Oklahoma beat down on Missouri State. Oh my god.
Yeah, that's tough stuff.
That is tough stuff. Let's move
Missouri
on now.
State. Yeah.
Wait, what are your picks, Ben?
We don't really need to hear my pick for this one. I think it's too obvious. I think this entire week is pretty there's no real games that are in doubt, but we'll see. Hopefully an upset happens. I go Oklahoma here.
All right. South Florida Citadel. South Florida, if this game's on, I might watch it during breaks of the Clemson game just because Notre Dame plays South Florida and South Bend next week. I think South Florida wins this. They've been a solid program.
Yeah, they've been a decent American program. They've been in the championship a few years against UCF. And the Citadel's once again an FCS team. Don't know why there aren't any good games, and I'm going to go with South Florida again.
All right, Tulane, South Alabama. I watched Tulane in their bowl game last year, but South Alabama has produced a few NFL players. Gerald Everett's one to name for the Rams. I'm going with Tulane. Roll Wave.
South Alabama did win their first game of the season against Southern Mississippi. I had Southern Miss in that game, and I was shocked that South Alabama won. But I still think that – actually, no, I'm going to go with South Alabama here.
All right, South Alabama wins it for Ben. That's our first pick I think we've disagreed on. Or did you have Georgia Tech winning?
No, I had Florida State.
All right. A lot of people have Georgia Tech winning. Clemson, Wake Forest. Clemson by 70 times 70. Not even going to be close.
This is a massive line. The over-under's 60, and Clemson's supposed to win by 34. That doesn't.
Clemson is winning, and Clemson will have at least 60 points of winning, yes.
And the over-under 60. So you would bet the over there. Obviously, Clemson will win this game, but I actually think that Wake will not win and not even really keep it close. But I think the score will be more respectable than just going off the fact that it's game number 1 of the year and they're going to be really up the intensity a little bit, hopefully.
All right, Houston Baptist, Texas Tech. Houston Baptist has the worst college basketball program, I think, in history. So on that fact, even though it's college basketball, not college football, Texas Tech. Give me the Raiders.
I'm looking at Houston Baptist is not a good FCS team. Texas Tech, I mean, I don't know much about them this year, but I will go with them.
All right, next game, UTEP, Texas. Texas, easily.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but UTEP is one of the worst one of the worst teams in college football. Almost every year, they rarely win. I mean, they're consistently like 1-11. Texas wins this game by 55 points.
All right, Louisville, Western Kentucky, Notre Dame, as I said earlier, does play Louisville. $17 to go see a Kentucky rivalry. Not bad. I have Louisville, though, winning probably by 20.
I think this is a more intriguing game than others we've seen. Louisville's going to be decent this year. They could sneak into the rankings. And Western Kentucky's not horrendous. The line's only 12 points, so the bettors or the odds makers expect a somewhat close game. I might pay attention to this one a little bit, but I am going to go with Louisville.
All right, Kansas, Coastal Carolina, starting at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. That's a late start. Taking place at David Booth Kansas Memorial Stadium. If you did not know, the stadium was memorialized for all the World War I think deaths of people in Kansas or maybe Kansas students. I'm not completely sure. But I have Kansas by a good bit here. Their running back, is it Pookie Williams? Do you know, Ben?
Yes,
It is Puka Williams. He's a stud, actually. I think he could be a top 3 or 4 round pick. I like Kansas. Pookie Williams going to have a feast today.
So, last year these two teams met and Coastal Carolina won 12-7.
That's so sad.
I'm going to hope that Kansas can do a little better this time. They're awful at football. It's a little strange. They're that bad at football. But Coastal Carolina just made the jump to FBS, so I got to go with Kansas.
All right, well, thank you guys for listening. Week 1 picks.
And there's been a lot of games postponed as well.
There have been. In 2 weeks, if the season's still going on by then, you will have SEC football to talk about. The SEC will be joining not week 2, but week 3. Week 4 is, I think, the first week with, like, top 10 teams matching up. That'll be very exciting. And Ben and I will bring you those picks when we get there. Thank you guys for watching.
Thanks.
This has been another upload on the channel. And, yeah, we'll see you guys. Like, subscribe. Peace.